Hey everyone, thanks for learning to play games. My name is Lance, and in today's video I'm going to be playing through G.I. Joe Mission Critical. This is a game by Renegade Game Studios. It is a 1 to 5 player game that takes roughly 1 to 2 hours to play, and is a fully cooperative game where all the players are working together to defeat Cobra and save the world. So we'll see how this goes. So in this one I'm going to be using a few of the expansion characters to see if they can team up and defeat the Cobra Commander this time around and his lieutenants. And I also am going to be using the Baroness in this one, so we'll see if I have what it takes to defeat her. So in this one, I'm going to be using Lady J, Flint, and Sergeant Slaughter, so we'll see how that works out. So as always, if you find my videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we can continue to grow, be able to produce this content. If you want to get notified anytime I drop new videos, also give that notification bell a ring, and that'll let you know whenever I drop new stuff. Also let me know in the comments down below if there's anything else you'd like to see around this game. So let's go ahead and head to the table, and we'll see how this one plays. Alright, so before getting into it, I have to first off reveal my vehicles. So let's see what I find, or what kind of vehicles I have here. And again with this, I am using some of the expansion vehicles, so you might see some additional vehicles in this that you don't normally see in the core game. Alright, so I have the Armadillo. This one lets me, for each Cobra at this battle's location, gain an energy. That's a 5, ouch. The Mobets, this one is also roll 5 dice and deal that number of damage rolled to an enemy card of your choice. That's also 5, ouch. And the last one is Avalanche. Oh my goodness, that's a 6. Use this card when a hero would take damage due to an enemy ability. All damage to that hero from a single attack is negated. Alright, so that's a protection one, but those are all super expensive there. Alright, and then each one of my heroes draws up to 5 cards into that hero's hand. So let's go ahead and start with Lady J. I can do this one at a time, so knock it off Knuckleheads. Power Javelin. Ooh, wow. And reaction. Okay. I think I'm going to hold there with her. Over to Flint. Seize the initiative. Looks like you're in a jam. Team Tactics. I'm going to go one more. And the Riot Shotgun. Okay, those are good. And Sergeant Slaughter. Let's see, I have the Pledge. Cannon. And I think I'm going to hold there with him. All right, so now each round is broken into 2 phases. I have the deployment phase, where we're going to have a number of different enemies coming out onto the board, and then the action phase, where the heroes are going to get to take their turns. So let's go ahead and start with the deployment phase and see where the enemies are going to come out. So I have 2 enemies, and each one of these cards is going to list the number of enemies, and their tokens are next to them. So I'm going to have 2 of the Cobra Troopers, and I'm going to look at the top of the next card to determine where they go. So I'm going to have 2 Cobra Troopers in the Cobra Temple. I'm going to have 2 additional Cobra Troopers in the Space Station Delta. I'm going to have 2 of the Crimson Guard in the Cobra Temple. And then I'm going to have 1 of the Crimson, or the Troopers, at the Research, so the Delta Space Station. And 1 Crimson Guard at New York City. All right, so that will take care of that. These are going to be shuffled up and placed underneath that deck. All right, and then I have to choose how I want to do my actions. So I've got a whole collection of them here to deal with, so I definitely want to go take care of that. So I guess let's go there first. So I'm going to have, I think, all 3 of my Joes head over there. And then I'm going to have Flint initiate the battle. So he's going to be the leader. Again, at the beginning of each battle, our characters can draw up to 5 cards. Maximum hand size is 5. So, for example, with Lady J, I could draw 2 additional cards. But I think I'm good with what I have. So moving into it, then I have to draw cards. So I have 4 troopers. Now if there was more troopers than 4, then I have to choose the combination of how I'm going to distribute the cards to be drawn. But with this example, I have 2 Cobra Trooper cards and 2 Crimson Guard cards. All right, so I'm going to do the guard first. So I have a elite sentinels. So this is a guard and a guard passive. So it's going to bump up the health of each of those adjacent cards. Cobra Troopers is a guard and the Cobra Charge. All right. So in battle, unless there's a fast card, which there were no fast cards drawn, they would have been the first cards to be resolved. And a fast card is always going to be resolved first. So the Cobra would actually have gotten to go first in that example. But in this situation, I get to go first with one of my characters. And this is going to bump up these two cards to 4 hit points apiece. Okay, so what do I want to do here? And I have to also have to gain energy, so I'm going to get 2 energy from the supply, and then each one of my Joes contributes energy as well. So I have 5. I'm going to use one of those with the Riot Shotgun. And this one lets me, I can divide the hits from this attack among 2 adjacent targets. It's going to get me 3 dice. I'm also going to use my Warrant Officer ability. So it says once per battle, when any hero performs an attack, add a die to that attack. So I'm going to do 4 dice. And I think that's probably good. I don't know if there's anything else I want to do at the moment. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to target this guard card here initially. And if I have any extra, I'll distribute it to the Elite Sentinel. So I do 4 damage to it. So that will take out this guy. And then I have 2 damage remaining that's going to go onto this card here. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to defeat the other card. So I'm going to have to resolve that next. All right, so now the enemy's going to go. He's going to resolve his ability. So this card says that half of the heroes in this battle rounded up discard the top card of their deck. And then this will be turned 90 degrees to signify that's been resolved. So I'll do Sergeant Slaughter as the first one. All right, so that's simply going to be discarded. And the second hero, I guess I'll do Lady J. All right, so she lost supporting fire. All right, so that's been resolved, so that goes back to our characters to go. And what do I want to do here? What's this one? Play this card after any hero discards a card for defense. I don't know if that was really defense though, so I'm gonna hold off on that. All right, I think I'm gonna go with Sergeant Slaughter. I'm gonna use the inverted suplex slam. It's gonna cost me 1 energy. This one is going to get me 2 dice. And it says I get to add a die to this attack for each keyword the target has. So this target does have a guard. So I'm going to go ahead and target that card there. So I'm going to get 3 dice on that. I did defeat one of the Crimson Guards, so I get to add one of them over right away. And let's see what I get here. All right, so I did enough to take out that guy there as well. So that's going to get me a Cobra Trooper. And this is going to be discarded. All right, so that takes care of that. So now it's back over to the enemies to go. So the next card to activate is this one, but since it's been defeated already, I'm simply going to turn it and it is going to count as an activation. So now it's going to kick back over to my characters to go. And what do I want to do here? Ignore the guard keyword. Maybe rerolling a number of dice for this attack. So I think I'm going to use that. So it doesn't cost anything. It's going to get me 2 dice. And I think she's going to use that as well. So I'm going to spend 1 energy for that. And this one says that I get to play this card when any hero performs an attack, add a die to that attack. So I'm going to add 1 there. and I can divide the damage up from the attack among any number of targets. So I can split this up. So hopefully I'll have enough to be able to take that out as well. That'd be great. And I do. I have 4 damage, so that's enough to take that out and this card out as well. And that's going to end the combat as there are no enemies left to activate. All right, so that was pretty successful. All right, and these are all going to be just shuffled back in. And 2 Crimson Guards. Okay. And then only 2 of the heroes are going to get energy back, as there's only 2 energy remaining. So I'm going to give it to these 2. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and move. So I'm going to go over here. And I think Lady J and Sergeant Slaughter are going to go over here. Let's see if I can handle those guys. Who do I want to initiate? I think I will go with her to initiate. So she's going to be the leader. I have 3 Cobra Troopers. So we have a guard, a fast, so that's going to go first, and a guard. So I have 2 guards and a fast. All right, I get 2 energy added to the pool, and then each one of these guys gets 1. And I'm going to take 1 more. I'll take 2 more with her. And I think I'll hold there with Slaughter and see how things go. All right, so first off, the Rattler attack is going to go off because it's a fast, so that has to be triggered first, so I'm going to lose an energy from that. And I have to discard a vehicle from the board. So I think I'm going to get rid of the Armadillo. And I won't get a new vehicle just yet. I have to wait until the end of battle to handle that. All right, so that's going to be turned. And again, because that's a fast card, that's why the enemy got to go first. So now it's going to go over to my turn to go. And I could do supportive fire, doing a damage to somebody. I don't know if that's going to be super helpful yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one here. So it says each hero may discard 1 card from their hand to add a die to this attack. Each hero that does so, and for each hero that does so, and then you may divide the damage among any number of targets. So I'm going to go ahead and use that one. It's going to get me 2. And I'm going to go ahead and discard this card, the Pledge, to be able to get 1 for Savage, or Slaughter. And I'm going to do one of the Knucklehead cards to get 1 there as well. So hopefully I'm going to do some damage here. And I can divide this up however I want. So we'll see what I get. All right, so pretty good. I got 5 out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and take out this guy here and this one here. I don't have to worry about suffering any more damage. All right, so that will end my turn. So it's back over to the enemy to go. So now that this card is flipped over, this is the next card to activate. It's simply going to be turned as if the enemy activated it, and it'll go back to the Joes as there's nothing to resolve on that. All right, so then it's back over to me to go. And what do I want to do here? I'm going to go ahead and use Slaughter's ability here. So he is the Drill Master. It says once per battle, during any hero turn, you may discard 1 card to allow another hero to perform an attack using 3 dice instead of playing a card. So I'm going to go ahead and discard this one to trigger that. And it says if this card is discarded from your hand without being played, which I don't think, discard a card during any hero turn, you may discard 1 card to allow I think that would trigger that, and it deals 1 damage to an enemy card of your choice. So it's going to deal damage to that, and it's going to allow Lady J to roll 3 dice. And it does 3 damage. So either way, even if that wouldn't have gone out, I would have had enough to take care of that guy. And that is going to end the combat, as all 3 of those guys have been eliminated. And I forgot to move these over from before. So that will take care of all of them. And then these will be shuffled back in, and that just leaves 1 trooper out there. So I think Flint can handle that. So Lady J, I think, is going to move. Well, first off, we each get an energy back. And this one will be discarded. And then Lady J is going to go back to the pit. She's going to get to shuffle all her cards back in. And so I'm just going to do the same thing going back here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and move there as my last action and help out in that combat. Maybe. We'll see. Might not need it at all. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw. Draw 1 more. All right. So I think I'm going to go with that. And then Flint will initiate the battle. So I'm going to draw 1 Crimson Guard card. And it's an area denial. 3 damage, skips the next hero turn in this battle. But I get to go first. Question is, do I want to draw any cards? I think I do. So I have another maneuver card and lead the charge. I think that's where I'll go. So I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to go first with the attack. So I'm going to spend that card. I'm going to get 2 dice for that. And I'm going to use his Warrant Officer ability to get an extra die. So I just need 2 successes to take these guys out. And I got it. All right, so that's going to take care of them. I'll get that last trooper in there, and that clears the board. All right, so that'll take care of that. I forgot to drop a new vehicle in there, so I have the Wolverine. Use this card at the start of any hero turn to immediately defeat 1 foot soldier. All right, so that's pretty good. Okay. So that will end the round. So now we're into a new round, so the deployment phase. So first off, I get to flip all of the characters' tokens back over, and each of our characters recovers 1. And the 1 extra goes away. All right, so moving back into the deployment phase. So let's see what we got going on here. So I have 2 of these guys and the Baroness, so she's coming out, and her card's going to be active, and they're going into New York City. All right, so that is going to panic New York City. So I place a panic token on there. And then we've got to keep going. All right, so I got 3 more coming out onto the Juggle Laboratory. I have 2 troopers going into New York. And that will cap that off, as that's 5. I have 1 going into the space station. And the final card is 2 into here. And that's 2 more Crimson Guard. Wow, there's a lot of guard coming out. All right, so then these will be shuffled back up. As her card, any Lieutenant or Nemesis card does not count for the 5 cards, so that's why I had to pull another card for that. All right, so then she's going to have a nasty effect. So it says at the end of each enemy turn, if a hero has no cards in their hand, they are defeated. So that is going to be brutal on our characters. All right, so the question is what to do here. So Lady J, I think we're going to have to handle her battle first. I'm going to move in. Flint's going to spend 2 for movement. I'm going to move out back to the command so that I can get my cards back. Because again, I think I'm going to need them for this. And then I'll spend the second one to move back. And I'm going to initiate battle. I'm going to do it with Slaughter, since he hasn't done any or used any yet. So she's going to stay with him. So first off, I have the enemies that are out there. I have 2 guards. So one of them is fast. So that'll go first, and then this one. And then I have 2 of these guys, so 2 more guard. And then the Baroness, she's going to have 4 cards out. So let's go ahead and shuffle her deck up real quick and see what we find. So we have Your Weakness Sickens Me. So this one is a fast and guard. So she's going to get to attack first. She's going to deal 3 damage. And the hero who suffers this damage discards 1 card from their hands. Ouch. All right, there's another one. And we also have the Mistress of Manipulation. Each hero draws 1 card and discards 2 cards in their hand. And finally, the Perfect Shot. Defeat each hero with the fewest cards in their hand. Wow. She is brutal. All right, so now I have to choose for draws. I think for this battle, I think all of our heroes need full hands. So I'm going to draw 5 cards with each hero. So, tactics, seize initiative, cannon, and that one. Okay, so we'll see what happens with this. I don't know if I'm thrilled with these hands, but we'll see what we can do here. All right. So she's going to trigger first. She's going to deal 3 damage, and the hero who suffers the damage discards 1 card from their hand. So I got to choose who's going to take that. Well, I do have this one here. Play this card when a hero suffers damage, reduce that damage by 3. The next time a hero performs an attack, add 3 dice to the attack. So that at least gives me something there. Okay. Do I have any cards that let me divide up attacks is the question. I do with that one. But that one, to discard a card from your hand to add a die to the attack. Well, it might be worth it. Or I could go with that one too. But again, that's just targeting the 1. All right, so we'll see how this goes here. All right. So yeah, I think I'm going to take it with Flint. And it's going to deal 3 damage. So I'm going to play this card as a reaction. So it's going to cost me 3. So when a hero suffers damage, you're going to reduce that damage by 3, so I don't take any damage. The next time any hero performs an attack, you're going to add 3 dice to that attack. So I'm going to place that out, and then I also have to discard a card as part of her thing. So I'm going to go ahead and discard this one here as the team tactics. All right. So from there, then it goes into our turn as she has gone with that. So now it is us to go, and whoever goes is going to get 3 dice on their attack. I can't keep losing cards, so I think I'm going to have to try to take that card out. So I'm going to get 3 dice from this attack. else do I have? All right, so I think I'm going to have to use this one here. So it's going to get me 2 extra dice. Each hero may discard 1 card from their hand to add dice to this attack. And for each hero who does so, you may divide the damage among any number of targets. So that is really good. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the supportive fire from her, so that that gives me an extra die and it lets me distribute the attack. I can also trigger this one with him. So this says, play this card after a hero discards a card from their hand without playing it. Gain an energy. A hero of your choice draws 2 cards. So I think Flint might need to be the one to do that. So lead the charge, and knowing is half the battle. Okay. So at least I get a couple extra cards in my hand. All right. And then the question is, do I discard a card with him to gain an extra die? Or do I keep it there? I might want to just keep it there. So that gives me 6 dice. So I got 3 from him, I get 2 from this, I get 1 from her. So that's the 6. Yeah, I think, or I could use his ability too to get me an extra die as well. I think I'll do that and get 7 dice for this. So I'm going to roll an extra die after I resolve these. All right, come on, Sergeant Savage. Let me re-roll that one because I dropped it. That's a crack. All right, and then I get to roll 1 more die, and this is a terrible roll. And I get 5 damage total. Well, I think I'm going to take this one out. That is the nasty one. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to distribute anything, but I got that taken care of. And I think I'm going to activate a vehicle as well. So I think I'm going to do this one here. The Mobit. This is going to let me, this is a 5. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, there's 4. I'll just do these guys here. Keep it, oh, no, I better do these guys because I'm almost out of them. All right, so there's 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to have 3 remaining for that. It lets me roll 5 dice and deal that to an enemy of my choice. Okay. And 4, just enough. So I'm going to go ahead and take out that card as well. So that'll at least take out 2 of her cards. All right. That is my turn. So now it is back over to the enemy's turn. So she's going to go with her second card. So now it's back to me. So this one is letting each hero draw a card, but then we have to discard 2 cards. So it's a net loss of 1 card per hero. That is bad. Definitely don't like that. Technically, well, they're all fast, so it doesn't matter where the order was. So she could go with that one. I do have energy left. It lets me gain an energy. For each enemy card adjacent to the target with a guard keyword, so I would gain 1 back, so it's a net, basically nullifies it. So that gets me 3 dice. All right, I don't want to do that just yet. I think I really need to play that. Play this card. When a hero performs an attack, add a die to that attack. So I basically have to spend 2 and I'll get 1 back. I do get to spread it out. Yeah, let's do it. So I need 4 successes. And I got him. Wow. Just enough. All right, so that's going to take care of that card. And then it'll go back to the enemies to go. So she's going to go and no damage, so it's back to us. So from here, now it's just kind of picking them apart. I'm going to get at least one more turn before I have to deal with that guy. I have 1 energy left, so I'm going to go ahead and spend that on Slaughter here. And he's going to do the inverted suplex slam, add 1 die to this attack for each keyword the target has. So she has 2 keywords, so I'm going to get 4 dice for this. And I'll see if I can take that last card of hers out. And I do. 4 exactly. All right, so at least if I can make it through the combat, I know that she's going to be defeated. So then I'll flip this over, and that'll take care of that. And that'll discard that card. And I have to be careful now because her ability, I believe, is still in effect until the end of combat. All right, so then it's back over to us to go next. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this one here, I think. Or I could go with Seize the Initiative. No, I'm going to go and try that one. So it's going to give me 2 dice. And the next time a hero performs an attack, add 1 die to that attack. So I don't think there's anything else I want to, yeah, there's really nothing else I can do at this point. So yeah, I'm going to try that. And I'm going to try to target this one here. I'll see if I can get it or not. I did not. I did 2 damage. So that one is going to trigger. So so the next time a hero goes, they're going to get to roll an extra die. So that'll take care of that. It's going to do 2 damage to a hero. So I'll take it with Sergeant. And it's going to block both of it. And there's no other effect with that. All right, so then it's back over to us. And I really need to take care of that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use Flint again, and I'm going to do Seize the Initiative. So this is a 2-die attack, and I get to ignore the guard keyword during this attack. So normally I could not target this one because of this guy, but I can because of this card. And I can reroll any number of dice for this attack. And I don't need to. So I was able to take him out. And that'll be discarded. Okay. And that will take one of those guys out. So I got a Crimson Guard, so now I'm up to 4. And then it goes to their turn, so this is going to go off. I'm going to go ahead and spend these 4 here to trigger that other vehicle. And that will let me, with the Wolverine, I can use this card at the start of any hero turn to immediately defeat 1 Foot Trooper card. And I'm going to take out this Assault Tank. So that'll take care of that. I'll get 1 for that. And then I still get to go. So I'm going to go ahead and use this card here. And get 2 dice. And I get to reroll the dice if I need to. I got 2. That's all I needed. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out. So that gives me the second one. And I'm just barely going to make it through this, I think. All right, then they're going to go, and then it's going to kick back to us. And I'm going to go ahead and go with the Sarge here, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this. It's going to do 2 damage automatically without having to roll, and that will take out that. And that ends the combat as I've defeated all of the different enemies out there. And the Baroness goes down as well, so I have to shuffle those in, and I've defeated 4 of her cards, so I am successful in defeating her. So I get a free vehicle token, so I'm going to get to spend that at some point to be able to trigger a vehicle card for free. So that's nice. I get to place out new vehicles, so I've got the Ram. Use this card after a hero plays a card to return that card to their hand instead of discarding it, so that could be really useful. And I have the Snowcat. For each enemy on the battle's location, deal 1 damage to an enemy card. Okay. It's an expensive one. Oof. Okay. All right, so that'll take care of that. And her card is gone. All right, that leaves me pretty depleted here. I have 3 cards left in Flint's deck. The other 2 I don't think are doing too bad. So the question is, do I go back or do I push on? I have 5 Crimson Guard there. And this location is not panicked anymore. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and move over each character and try to work on this location. So I'm going to go with Savage again, trigger in that combat. Since he's still got an extra, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to have 4 of the Crimson Guard cards coming out. So I'm going to shuffle those up real quick and then deal those out. I won't be able to clear the location with this combat, and none of our characters got any energy back, so I'm going to place 2 out. And 4 cards. All right, so we have Area Denial, Ambush, so that's going to go first. Guard, Passive, and Fast, so that'll go, and then these 2 as they were drawn. All right, so deal 2 damage and drain an energy. So I'll take it with Lady J, and she blocks with 2 shields. And then drawing back up, I'm going to draw a couple with Flint. I'll draw a couple with Savage. Okay. I think I'll draw 1 with Lady J. Okay. All right, so that was taken care of, and then it's over to us to go. All right, so I'm going to go with this one here. And that's going to get me 2 dice. I'm going to get 1 extra one from his ability, because I'm going to go ahead and use that. And I'm going to try to take this guy out. And I got 2 successes. Unfortunately, that's not enough. Okay. And I don't think there's anything else I can do. So that will end our turn. So then it's going to go back into them. I'm going to lose the energy and take 2 more damage. So I think she's going to take it again. There's 1, so not enough. So then she's going to reveal another one. That one is enough, so that'll go back on the bottom of her deck. And that'll take care of this card here. All right, so then it's back to us. Unfortunately, now I don't have any energy. So she's going to spend that to get 2 energy added to the supply. I'm going to go ahead and use 1 of those to trigger his shotgun. So that's going to get me 3 dice, and I get an extra 1 for leading the charge. And I can target 2 adjacent targets. So I'm going to hit this guy as I have to first, because it has the guard and passive on it. And I do 3 damage, so I'm going to take that out. And I do 1 damage to this one, which this battle is not going well. And that is it for that. So then this one's going to trigger, and it says I'm going to deal 3 damage and skip the next hero turn. So somebody's going to have to take 3. I've only got a couple cards left with each character, so I'm going to go with Lady J. And I blocked 3, so that's going to go in there. And, well, I do have a reaction card. It says, play this card after any hero discards a card for defense. Choose one card in your discard to add to your hand. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with that one. And that takes care of this, and then it skips the hero's next turn, so then this one's triggered, so I get one more turn. So I do get one guy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play this one here. Doesn't cost anything. It's going to get me 2 dice. Each hero may discard one card from their hands to add 1 die to this attack. For each hero who does so, you may divide this among any number of targets. So I'm going to go ahead and do one with him. So I'm going to get 1 there. I will do 1 with her. So I'm going to go ahead and do the power javelin because I'm definitely not going to be able to trigger that right now. The question is, do I pop 1 with him? I could potentially take out, if I get, well, good enough, I could take out all of them. Yeah, why not? So, everybody's contributing. We'll see what happens with this. All right, yes, I did very well. I got 6 successes. So I'm going to take 1 on this guy. So that'll take care of him. I'll take 1 on that guy, which takes care of him, and 4 on that guy to take care of him. All right, so that will actually eliminate all of 3 of those guys. So that's ended up going well after that initial thing. All right, now I just have one enemy left in there. But I think at this point, I do have one thing. I'll give it to Lady J. I'm just going to spend my last 3 to move back to command. As each one of my characters is almost out of cards, I think we definitely need a refresh here. And I will get an energy back for the other 2 characters. Okay. And that will end the round, so I'm just going to go ahead and flip their tokens back over as well. All right, so moving back in, let's start with the deployment phase and see what happens here. All right, so I got 3. Yikes. Cobra Troopers coming out into this location, so we're up to 4 now. I have 1 at New York. I have 2 Crimson Guard in the space station. I'm going to have 3 Crimson Guard and Blood at the lab. So again, in Delta Station, so that's going to add 2 there. And then this guy kicks over here. And it is going to panic the station. And then his card is discarded. And the final card is 2 more. The Crimson Guard, so I have to add hit tokens here to take up their spots. And they're going to go here. So that's going to panic that location as well. So well, no, yes it will, because they're at max. All right, and that will take care of that. So I have 2 locations in trouble here. So we'll see how this goes. I definitely want to handle Major Blood. We'll see if I can get him out of here. All right, and then one other thing I do want to point out that I kind of messed up during the first round was when you go into the pit or the command area and you do a power-up, you also have to shuffle your hand in with all that as well, and you get to draw back up to how many cards you want, to up to 5. So I did that with all my characters. So moving into the round, I think we probably just need to jump right in and try to handle him. So I'm going to do all 3. They're going to do that. And move right on in here. And I'm going to have 4 Crimson Guard, as there's 4 there. So we have Guard, Fast, Fast, Fast. So 3 Fasts and a Guard. So all those are going to be firsts. And the Guard is at the end. All right, and the Major Blood. We'll shuffle his up, and we'll see what kind of nastiness he's going to throw at us. All right, so I have Ceaseless March, Fast and Guard, Fast and Guard. All right, so these two will be first, as they're both fast. And then these two come after. So we've got some heavy hitters there. All right, this one is fast, so it is going to trigger first. So this is going to deal 2 damage to each hero twice. Ouch. All right, so it's a good thing I started off fresh. So 3 is okay and goes back into my hands, and 3 is okay and goes back in my hands. So Lady J did very well. Over to Flint for his firsts, same thing. And second is a maneuver, so I do discard that. I have to draw another card, and then that one will kick back down. Sergeant is 2, so he's good, and that it's discarded. And if this card, that's discarded though. Well, discarded from your hand. Okay. And then this one is 3, so that one is okay. And that will go back. All right, that takes care of that, so that's going to turn. And now it's going to kick to us. So the question is, well, I have to generate energy, so I'm going to get 3, and then 3. And actually, for that one, I might actually want to spend 3, I think, and use this one. And I definitely do want to draw some more cards. I should have done that first, because that would have changed things. I think I'm going to have to stay with where it is now. All right, so this is going to soak up that damage, and it's going to add 3 dice to the next attack. So I think that's going to be important. And this card after hero discards a card. All right, so she's got nothing in her defense or her discard pile right now for that. All right. This card after hero discards a card from their hands without playing it. Gain 1 energy. Hero of your choice may draw 2 cards. I think I will do that. So I'll do that with his. So I'm going to get to gain an energy, and that hero gets to draw 2. So I'm going to draw 2 cards there. Okay, good. So that definitely helps Flint out there. All right. So going back into it, I definitely want to use the shotgun with that. So that way it gives me 6 dice. So I'm going to get 6 on that. And this gives me 2 targets. I could play this one as a reaction as well. That's an extra die, and I can divide it up. So this one lets me split between 2. I could split between more. I think I'm going to hold on to that though. I think going too crazy on this. Well, she has it as well. That'll give me 7 dice. And I could pop his ability for 8 and split it up. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to spend 1 additional one with her. Getting down to the wire here. And I'm going to get 8 dice. So I'm going to roll the first 6. Getting a big hit would be really good here. Oh my gosh. I did horribly. All right, so all of that for not much here. All right, so I did a total of 5. So I can at least take out 1 more of his cards. So I think I'm going to do 1 damage to that one, and I'll take this one out, because that's going to be really bad as well. God, that was a horrible roll. Come on, Joes, you're letting me down here. All right, so that ends my turn. Now it kicks back to them. he's gonna, or I defeated the card. Now he's gonna turn it to the side to trigger the attack. So it goes back to me. She unfortunately doesn't have a lot to work with right now either. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. Well, I do have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I could pop on the snowcat. And for each trooper here at this battle's location, deal 1 to an enemy card. Well, there's 5 of them technically at the location. So I could pop that, and that would be enough to take out this one here. So if I was smart, I should have thrown this on something else, but I didn't, so. All right. So that takes care of that. That hasn't been activated yet. All right, so that was that. So now I still get to do some stuff with this. I'm going to go ahead and use, yeah, might as well use that. I'm going to get 3 dice. This one lets me add a die to the attack for each keyword. So I'm going to go after one of these guys that has the fast. And I'll see if I can start whittling these guys down here. There we go. All right, so I got him. So that will take care of that. And that'll give me 1 there. Okay, then he goes, and then it's back to us. I don't know if I'm going to be able to defeat him in one go here. I could go with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Leading the charge. That's going to get me 2 dice. And I get to add a die to the next attack. I'm going to target this guy here. That was a 2 for a little bit. Okay, so that's just 1 damage. All right, so now it goes back to him. He's going to drain 3 energy, but I have no energy to drain, so I don't think I lose anything there. All right, and so I think before going with him, I'm going to use an extra token from each one to add 4, because if he goes beforehand, I'm going to have to discard cards. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to add 4 energy in there. And then he's going to go and he's going to drain 3 of it. So I lose 3 right away. But that's probably better than losing cards. Well, I could lose 1 card. Discards a card. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'm going to take 1 back, so I'm going to lose both energy. And I have to discard 1 card, so I'm going to go ahead and discard one of her cards, because that's not super helpful. All right, so now it goes back to us. I'm going to go ahead and use the Flawless Impersonation. This allows me to defeat 1 foot soldier card that has the guard keyword, so I'm going to take that one out. And then it's going to go back to them, so they're going to activate. So now it's back to us. I'm going to go ahead and spend this to get 2 energy. And I do have 2 there. Well, I could go with him though as well and target that first card. Adjacent targets, though. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and use both of these for him. So I'm going to spend the 2 energy. It's going to get me 3 dice for the attack. I get an extra die, and I can target any number of enemies. So let's see what I roll. Let's see what I go after here. Hey, finally something good. All right, so I got 5 damage. So I'm going to do... I could take out both of those guys. With that. I think that's probably the way to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take out both of those guys. So that gives me 2 more troopers. And that will discard both of these cards. And that will end my turn. So then it's back over the enemies. They're going to go. And it's back over to us. I'm going to spend 1 of his to add 2 more. I'm going to spend 1 of those to do his slam card. So that's going to get me 2. And I'm going to target that card up there, which is going to give me 2 additional dice as I get 1 for each keyword on that card. And there's 2. So that's going to give me 4 dice. I need 4 successes on here. Come on. Yes, I got it. So that's going to take that down. So that's 3 done. That's going to go, and then it's back to us. I'm almost out of cards. I am out of cards here. So I can discard this to roll a die. So that's what I'm going to have to do. And it's a miss, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so it goes back to them. And that'll be their last turn, and it goes back to us. And that's all of them. So there's only 1 guy left there. Well, I could spend 2 to get that card back. Use this card when a hero plays a card. The odds of me getting something like that, though, that's a lot of hit points to be able to take him down. I'd have to roll really well. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna probably happen. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just end there and I'll go at him again. All right, so that will end my battle. All right, so I think I'm gonna end there, and that's gonna end my battle. So I'll go ahead and clean up these guys. And unfortunately, I was not able to defeat Major Blood, so I'm gonna have to fight him again. And it's going to leave those 2 there. So I did defeat these 3 cards. So those will be placed off to the side. This one gets shuffled back in. I just need to take out 1 more card of his for that. All right. And there's only 1 energy left. So I'll give it to Lady J. I'm going to have her initiate the next combat in that location. So I'm going to add 3 energy back to the supply. Drawing 1, 2, 3. Draw 4 with him. Flint, I'm going to draw 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's only got 1 card left, so I got to be careful. And J, 1, 2, 3. I think. No, I'll go 1 more, 4. All right, so she's got a couple, so she could be my defensive character potentially. All right, so we're back into it. I think I shuffled these up. So I'm going to draw 1 for that. And it's Area Denial. And I got 4 cards for him. So he's got a Fast and Guard, Fast Guard, and Fast Guard. So it's going to be all of those. And he's going to go first. He's going to deal 2 damage to each hero twice. So that could bring Flint down right away. I probably shouldn't have drawn so many cards with him. Yeah, he's just got maneuvers and reactions. Or this one is a reaction though. Play this card after hero discards a card from their hand without playing it. Yeah, it's not going to help. And I don't think she doesn't have anything either. So first off, I have to do that first. So she's going to stop it. And then the second attack, she'll stop as well. Over to Flint. He stops it. This goes back and stops it again. So I got really lucky there. And Sergeant is 1, so he's going to discard that. And this one's good, and then this is going to go back in. And second attack, I'm good again. So my heroes are good, and I can hold off against these attacks at least. So that's a plus. But I'm going to definitely have to take that one out. But his next card is a guard. Luckily, I have her, so that's good. Yeah, because I can handle that card. I cannot handle that card. All right, so the question is, how do I want to do this? And I do get a new vehicle card, so what do I get here? So I have Triple T. So this vehicle, use this vehicle when a hero performs an attack with exactly 3 dice to add 3 dice to the attack. That would be great. Exactly 3 dice. So I could do leading the charge there with that and trigger that, which would give me the 3 dice that I need. Or I could do this one. I think I will do that. So that's going to get me 2 dice. And I just need 1 hero to discard a card. Play this card after a hero. Okay. So I could do that. Well, I'm not going to be drawing cards, so I'm going to go ahead and use that one. Discard it. That's going to give me the 3 dice that I need. And I'm going to spend 3 of those guys to use this. So that's going to give me 3 additional dice. And I can divide this up between targets. So we'll see what I get here. Well, I guess it would help if I did a little better. But I got 5. That is enough that I needed to. So deal 3 damage to each hero. So that one's definitely one I want to take out. And I get to do 1 more damage to something else. I'm going to do 1 to that. All right, so that will take care of our turn. I could get that card back. That is a good card, but I think I'm going to hold there. All right, so now it's back over to their turn. He's going to use that, and that will take care of that. So it's back to us. So I'm going to go ahead and use the supporting fire, so that's going to do 1 damage. Now lets me choose another character to immediately activate. So I'm going to go with Flint. I'm going to do leading the charge. It's going to get me 2 dice. And I think I'll use his ability to get me 1 more. All right, so that's 3 dice on this one. And I'm targeting that one there. So that is enough to take that down. So that will remove this. And the next attack I do with the character, somebody's going to get an extra die on that. So then this one triggers, and it's going to hit each hero for 2 damage twice. So I've already gone through that with my heroes. So she gets that back, and then this one gets revealed, so she's good there. He gets 1, and then 1 again. And Sergeant Slaughter, same thing. He's got 3 and 3. So Luckily, our heroes all had the 3s at the end there. All right, so that's back to us. I do have that, which is going to get me 2. So I'm going to go and do that. It's going to get me 2 dice and then +1 for that. And I'm going to target that card down there. And I get to re-roll any number that I need. I don't need to really re-roll any, so that'll take out that one, which gets me the last trooper. And that's it. As he's been defeated at this point, there's no other cards to activate. I'm just going to end the combat, so that will take him out. As I was able to get the 1 extra card I needed, I overkilled him a little bit, but that's okay. That way then that last card didn't get to trigger. And then this one will be shuffled back in. And I was able to clear that area at least. And that will take care of the panic as well. My characters are quite banged up here. So I think all 3 of them are going to have to go back. And then I'll have 2 characters left that I can send out. Well, yeah, because she doesn't have another movement, so I think that's probably the smart thing to do. So she's going to go back. She does get, well, they each get their 1 energy back. Okay, so each one of them goes back. Now I'll have 1 action remaining. The other 2, so I can send them out. Let's see. I think things are going to get ugly here. All right, so I think Flint, I'm going to send you to Cobra Bay, the Cobra Temple, as your last action. So I'll flip you all your tokens back over. Yeah, I'm going to need all 5 with that. And Sarge, I'm gonna gamble and send you the same place, and we'll see if Cobra shows, the Cobra Commander shows up there or not. So all of our characters have gone. Question is, why does that location have that on there? There's only 4 guys on there right now. I don't think I cleared it. I don't know why that's on there. I might have screwed that up from before. All right, so then I do have the Skyhawk. So 1 hero chooses 1 card from their discard pile and places on top of their deck. Okay. So I don't have a lot of combat cards at this point that are going to be super helpful. All right, I think that'll hold for now. All right, and then we have the deployment phase. So we're back here. All right, so I have 2 of those guys here. So in New York, so New York is at 4. I have 2 Crimson Guard in the temple. I have 2 of these guys at the temple, so we're at and Cobra Commander. So we have 2 more and Cobra Commander at the temple. Well, I called it. So he's going to fill up and then these guys will shift up. And we have 3 more on there, which they're going to kick up there as well. And I've only got 2. So I guess I'll just throw 1 in here because I don't know what to do with that. All right, so he is out. And I have to defeat 6 of his cards. So this is going to be at least a couple of battles. But I could end it here. If I just pound on him a couple times, I picked the right location, so I have some good options there. Lady J is going to move in there as well. So I got 2 Crimson Guard. So those are passives. And Cobra Troopers, 2 more guard cards, and Cobra Commander. So we'll see what I get with him. The other 2 are almost at max. I think Lady J is going to take a couple more cards. Well, that really doesn't help her that much. But see what else I get here. All right, so Cobra Commander, you have fast, fast, fast and passive, fast and card. Whew. All right, so that's a lot of damage there. All right, so he's going to get to go first. So he has revealed the top 3 cards of the Cobra Trooper deck and resolve their effects one after the other, and then shuffle the Cobra Trooper deck afterwards. So this is the Cobra Trooper deck. So first card is deal 1 damage, increase this damage by 1 for each foot soldier in this location. Question is, are they all considered foot soldiers? I guess so. So technically that would be 5 damage to somebody. All right, so the question is, who's going to take it? I guess I'll take it with Sarge. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is going to kick back in, and these 2 get discarded. Okay. The second one, same thing. Ugh. Do with him again. So there's 3 and 6. So Sarge will get that back. And this one goes away. 3 of a kind. No. Drains 1. So I get just 4 now. I should have had 5 in there. And 1 vehicle from the power board. I guess the Skyhawk, because there really isn't a lot of ways to draw cards, so that will be all that. And then this gets shuffled back in, and that will finish off his turn. So now it's over to us. And this one is a passive, so it says, while this card is in play, increase the health value of all foot soldiers by 1. Deploy 1 Crimson Guard to this location when this card resolves. Okay. All right, so now it's over to us to go. So the question is, what to do? So I could do this one here. Let me just do 1 damage, kicking it to another character. That passive one would probably be a good one to get rid of as well. Because this one's bumping up. while this card is in play, value of each additional enemy card. So that's increasing the health of everybody else. So yeah, I think I'm going to target that one. I will use her ability. And I forgot to do somebody for the leader, so I'm going to go ahead and use Flint as the leader. So she's going to do 1 damage. I'm going to target that one there. And she does have the ability to do that. Once per battle, any hero may ignore the guard keyword while choosing a target for this attack. Is it really worth it for that one, though? That's the problem. Maybe not. Maybe not. So let's see what I can do here. So I could do this one. So it's going to cost 1. So it's going to get me 3. I'm going to use 1 for knowing half the battle from her. So that's going to bump it up 1 more. It gives me 4. I'm going to use his ability for 5. And I think that will probably do it for now. So we'll see what we can get here. Well, I could use her supporting fire in that situation. So I'll do that as well. To do 1 on that card. Because now I get to spread it out between 2 adjacent targets anyways. I'm going to target that one first. And that's a crack. So I only do 3 damage. So I needed it because that was not going well. So that will take care of that. And that will end my turn. So it's back over to Cobra Commander. He's going to trigger this again. So first one is Cobra Charge. Yeah, and it's 5 damage again. So I think she's going to take it this time. So there's 3. Play this card after hero discards a card for defense. That should not be in her pile. That should be in his pile. I don't know how that happened. So there's that. So that's 2, 3, 4, and that one's good. So I'm going to go ahead and play this as reaction. So I'm going to take that card into my hands. Okay, that was the first. Second, deal 2 damage to half the heroes in this battle, rounded up. I'll take it 1 on Flint's, so he's good. And I'll take 1 on Savage, and he's good. Okay, and last card is fast. I drain 1, so I'm losing 1 there, and another vehicle. Ugh. I'll do the ram. All right, and that will take care of that card. So it's down to the that nasty card there. And this card is guarding that card. So, what kind of options do I have here? I really would love to handle that. Gain 1 card. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do his thing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use her keyword to be able to trigger this, because she can allow me to target a card that's being guarded right now. So I'm going to get 2 dice for that. I get 2 more because that card has 2 passive or 2 abilities. And I'm going to use my last, well, I have to use the energy here. So I'm going to spend 1 for him to give 2 more. And use 1 for Flint, knowing is half the battle, to add 1 more, and then I can split that up at least and do damage to multiple targets. Depending upon how I roll here. I need 5 successes, so probably won't be splitting things up too much, but if I get lucky, and I did not, I did 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that doesn't, yeah, there's nothing that lets me re-roll anything on that. Bummer. All right, so that means that this card is going off. And this one is, while this card is in play, increase the health value of all foot soldiers by 1. Deploy 1 Crimson Guard on this location when the card resolves, which is going to be now. And Crimson Guard is this one, which goes here, which is going to cause that location to panic. All right. So that goes back to us. All right. So at this point now, it's just a matter of triggering different things. So I'm going to do Supportive Fire. Lets me attack for 1. I'm going to take this guy out. And it lets me have another hero perform an action. So I'm going to go ahead and use Lead the Charge. With Flint, it's going to get me 2 dice. And I get to add a die to the next attack. And I'm going to target the No Retreat. And I do 2 damage, which is just enough to defeat that. And that is a Crimson Guard, so that will add 1 to my area there. All right, then he gets to go. So now it's back to us. And I get 3 dice. Deal 3 damage, skip the next hero turn, so I definitely don't want that to go off. All right, unfortunately, I don't have, so I'm going to unfortunately have to lose that die. But I'm going to go ahead and use this one here. So this is a free one. It does 2 damage, so I'm going to go ahead and target that and take it out. So that will take his turn. So that will end these guys. We'll go, and then it's back to me. I really want to take out some more of Cobra Commander's cards. So I'm going to go ahead and do his ability, or use his thing here for that one. It's going to let me add another die for each keyword on it. So I'm going to get 3 dice. I'm going to target one of his cards here. And I do 2 damage to it. That's going to go to them. And it'll kick back to us. I'm going to go ahead and use this to allow us to gain 1, and then it lets me choose another hero. So she's going to go, she's going to spend it to do an attack with 3 dice. And it does 2 more, so I'm up to 4 damage on that one. And that'll take care of that. This guy's going to go and deal 3 damage. So I'm going to take it on Flint. So 1, 2, 3. That's not good. All right, so that kicks back to us. Flint's going to go again. I'm going to use her, or this card here. It's an attack. I get to reroll. I didn't need it, so it's 2. So that'll take care of that. Be great to be able to take out one more, but that's not going to happen. So that'll take care of that. Over to them for the last one. So it's going to deal 2 damage to half the heroes on this card. So she's good. And I'll take it on him, and he's good. All right. Play this card. If here discards a card. All right, so... Oh, and I did kill that one as well, so both the Crimson Guard are gone. So it's just those 2 guys. So I'm going to use his ability and discard this card and allow another hero to roll. I'm going to have Flint roll, doesn't really matter. And 2 damage to take that one out. So at least I get 3 troopers out of the location. And I've gotten 3 of Cobra Commander's cards. All right. So then I'm going to spend 2 tokens for each character to move back to the base and then back to this location. So each one of them gets all of their cards renewed. I have to choose, and I don't have any, well, I do get my energy back because of the power-up. So I'm gambling here, hoping that my heroes can finish off Cobra Commander here. Should be a little easier now that I only have 1 additional trooper here. That'll help out a little bit. So, man, she's just throwing terrible. Okay, she got Power Javelin. All right, so that's not the worst. All right, Flint's. And Sarge, let's see what you get. Crunch. Yeah, I think I want all 5. All right, so I get 2 new vehicles. So I have Vamp. Till the end of this battle, each time a hero performs an attack, they may reroll 1 die. Oh yeah. And Flak. Use this card before a hero rolls dice for an attack to add 3 to that attack. Both of those are good. They're 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as long as I don't have to discard anything, I actually can activate both of those. That'll be great. All right, so I do have to shuffle these back up. I'll take care of that. Crimson go back in. I hopefully won't need those. I have 3 Cobra Commander's cards out. This one gets shuffled back into his deck. He's going to have 4 coming out. I'll go with Flint again to initiate. So 2 energy. And we drop 1 of each. Commander, I'm sure, is going to be fast. Yep, Glorious Leader. Okay, so it's fast, fast, fast. Okay, and passive. So everything's fast, and that one's a guard, so that's definitely going off, unfortunately. And then we have the Cobra Charge. Okay. All right. So... and then all my heroes have stuff out. So I have to handle this first. So first off, it says I'm going to deal an amount of damage equal to the total number of deployed foot soldiers in all locations divided among the heroes as they choose. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points of damage that I have to take. I don't know if I have to divide that up before I handle it or after. I should have, that location should be as well. So I've got, he's still got some to take. So I'm going to start with Savage. All right. Or Slaughter here. All right, so he's going to take 2. I'll take 6 with him, I think. 4. This card is discarded from your hand. And last card is, okay. So that goes back. And I've taken 6 with him. So that leaves me with 9 left. I'll take 5 with him. So there's 3, 4, 5. And I have 4 with Lady J. So there's 2 and 2. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use Knock It Off Knuckleheads. I'm going to do that twice, and I'll pull these 2 into my hand. Gives me a little bit better stuff to work with here. All right. So that handles his card. So now it kicks to us. So I definitely want to activate that first thing with the Vamp. So this one, until the end of this battle, each time a hero performs an attack, they may reroll 1 die. So that's going to be super helpful. I do have that as well. So I could have popped that as well. What's this do? Use this card when a hero would take damage due to an enemy ability. All damage that hero take from a single attack is negated. Well, I could have taken, I guess, all of it on him and just soaked it. I don't know. I don't know if that would work or not, so I'm gonna just continue on as I have. So at this point, for the rest of the battle, all of our heroes get to reroll 1 die. Okay, and these are the cards that are dealing that stuff, so it'd be great to be able to start picking those off. Okay, so I have 5 energy. Sergeant, what you got? Well, I'm going to go ahead and do the team tactics. That one gets me an energy, and I can have another hero play another card immediately. So I'm going to do the Power Javelin. It's going to cost me 3. That one is going to let me roll 6 dice. You may ignore guard keyword for this. So I'm going to target this card here. And I do have Knowing is Half the Battle there, which gets me another die. And it lets me divide up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that's going to be 4 energy. But I get 7 dice, and I get to reroll 1 as well. All right, so there's that. And I get to roll another die, and I get to reroll 1, so I get to basically get both of those back. Nice. Okay, so that was a good hit. So I have 4, 5 to take out that one. And I have 3 remaining. So this card is in play. Increase the health value of all foot soldiers and deploy 1 Crimson Guard when this card triggers. All right. Just going to drop them on there. Well, I can divide it up, so I'm going to do that, I think. So that was a good attack. All right. So now it goes to the enemy. He's going to go, but now it's going to kick back to us. I do have the shotgun. So I think I'll do that. So I'm going to spend 1 for the shotgun. It's going to get me 3 dice, and I'm going to use the extra die from Flint that he grants me. So I'm going to get 4 dice, and I get to reroll one of them. And I'm going to target that card. Another solid roll at 5 damage. So I'm going to do the 3 damage I need to take that card out. And I'm going to do 2 more damage to that card. All right, so far, things are going well. All right, so then the Cobra Commander goes with his card, and it's back to me. All right. Sergeant, I do have that one. Each hero may discard 1 card from their hand to add a die. And that lets me divide up the attack as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Discard that card. So I'm going to get 3 dice so far. Go ahead and do Flint contributing 1. And I'll do 1 with her to contribute 1 as well. So I got 5 dice. Now I can divide up the attack. There's 4, and I get to reroll 1. Doesn't help. All right, so I get to divide up the attack though. So 2 on this one to kill it. So that'll defeat Cobra Commander, and 2 on that card. All right, so then he goes, and it's back to us. All right, so I mean, at this point, I could just do the supporting fire to take that out, which I think I'm going to do. So that will take out that as I just need to do 1 damage. And that will take that. So I don't need anything else. I should have popped that for the other thing, but that's all right. All right. I only have the 1 left. So, well, I get 1 more run at it, so I could overkill him. So why not? Let's see what I can do here. So I'm going to do that. It's going to get me 2 dice. I get an extra die on my next attack. And I'm going to go ahead and use the flat cannon. Use this card before hero rolls dice for an attack to add 3 dice to that attack. So it's going to cost me 4. So that'll take care of that, and that's going to give me 3 more dice. So 5, and I'm targeting that last card there. I do get to reroll 1, and there it is for 4. 4 will defeat that, and that is going to end the combat. And because Cobra Commander is dead, as I've gotten 7 cards now, as I only needed 6 to kill him, that is the game. And I was able to make it through the combat, and that was the important thing, is that you have to live through the combat. And I was able to pull that off. So that is the game, and I have defeated the Cobra Commander and the forces of evil. Well, I was able to pull it off, and that Baroness is horrible. I really do not like her. She is quite challenging. So I hope you found the video interesting. Let me know in the comments down below, again, if there's anything else you want to see around this, and if you noticed if I did anything wrong. I do my best to get all the rules as accurate as possible, but I do make mistakes. So let me know in the comments down below if you caught anything. And until next time, I'll see you later.